Hello everyone, welcome to the AWS Marketplace series. My name is Christophe Bertrand. I'm a principal analyst here at theCUBE. I am joined today by MongoDB's Vice President of Global Partnerships, Olivier Zieleniecki. Did I say it right, Olivier? Nice to have you.
Absolutely, Christophe. Thanks so much for having me here.
It's great to have you, and there's so much to talk about. I mean, look, AI is upon us. However, modernizing applications for AI doesn't come easily. There are lots of issues associated with not only the technology, the processes, the people, but of course, the data. Olivier, why don't you take us through, first of all, what you do at MongoDB, and then let's talk about Atlas, which is, of course, the platform I'd love to talk to you about today.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you again for having me here. I'm definitely looking forward to this conversation. I've joined MongoDB 10 years ago, and I'm currently leading our partner team at MongoDB globally. This means that I am in charge of partnering with partners across hyperscalers, SIs, whether it's GSIs or local SIs, ISVs, tech and AI partnerships, and OEMs, obviously, right? Those are our largest partners. So MongoDB, we've been around for now over 15 years, and we've evolved from a document data model to really a unified data platform for the AI era. And I can say that because we now provide truly a single platform where a customer can run, whether it's transactional workloads, stream processing, or real-time analytics. And in that place, right, I think one of the things that we wanted to talk about today is how MongoDB Atlas, the managed service on the cloud of MongoDB, can leverage AWS Marketplace offering and what's so unique about Atlas on AWS Marketplace, right? So the first thing I can tell you about is that, as I've said, Atlas is truly the leading and unified data platform on AWS. Um, and through AWS and Marketplace, customer can spin up Atlas with just a few clicks. And they can pay as you go, and they can see their Atlas and AWS usage on a single bill. There's no separate contract, no new procurement cycle. It's really providing ease of use for our customer. The second is the concept of burn down of EDP, right? So our listing burn down customer existing AWS commitment against the consumption, and it fits directly into their AWS commercial strategy. So customer can get Atlas or any of the AWS services all aligned under the same agreement. And then third is we, as organization race to modernize and build AI-powered application, they need less stack complexity, not more, right? So Atlas on AWS Marketplace give them a unified AI-ready data platform that's deeply integrated with services like Amazon Bedrock or Code Whisperer. And it's actually becoming one of our fastest growing routes to market with rapidly growing self-service adoption.
So, well, let's talk about that because I think you've unpacked quite a bit here. Number one, there are a number of applications that need modernization for AI, and of course, data is going to be front and center. So, having the unified data platform that you offer is going to be critical. But let's talk about maybe some of the other advantages in terms of you mentioned EDP and burning that down. Well, what about costs? Are there any incremental costs? When I consume, Atlas, how does it all play out as an end user?
No, so there is no incremental cost, right, for the AWS marketplace. Actually, what is great about it is that there is no incremental budget to look at from the customer. It's all on one bill, right? They can truly leverage their infrastructure budget, right, which they call it their AWS EDP, to purchase, our offerings. So it really let the customer unlock MongoDB Atlas while maximizing the AWS investment they've already made. So instead of asking finance for a new line item and more budget, they actually burn down existing AWS commitments, and they see Atlas and AWS on a single bill and keep procurement, but finance and IT as well, all moving in the direction. But I think the second thing, which is extremely valuable for our joint customer, right, is that it accelerate value from purchase to production with fully integrated service. And I think in the AI modern world, right, you've just mentioned it, I think in your question, that that race to AI is critically important. What actually it is the race to successful production. So meaningfully shortening time from an idea to an impact uh, is truly valuable. So now teams can move from experimentation to production on a unified AI-ready data platform that already fits with their AWS architecture, and it's plugged into their AI services, such as Bedrock and Cloud Whisper.
Sure.
And that's being done instead of stitching together multiple database or search engine and vector stores. If you want, I can give you a win story that we've got where we've seen the power of it, right? And one of those customers is Base 39, and they're using MongoDB Atlas as well as Atlas and vector search on AWS to power AI agents for credit analysis. So by moving to an AI-driven underwriting stack on Atlas, they cut loan analysis costs by 96%. It reduced infrastructure expenses by 84%, and working with MongoDB and AWS, were able to stand up a robust and production-ready solution in about 2 weeks.
Right. So let's
I hope this
yeah, let's
helps.
talk about that because loan analysis means the customer experience is going to be vastly improved operationally. Obviously, it's pretty obvious that there is a cost reduction here, and more importantly, it feels like this is turning essentially your data and your investment in AI into a competitive advantage. So for the end user, for the end users watching us today, what we're talking about is a fundamental shift in how you approach the value you can deliver, not only internally from an operational efficiency perspective, but also externally, which is, of course, where the money comes from. And as you mentioned, you don't even have to go to finance. Isn't that maybe the best thing? No, I'm just kidding. Let's maybe take a look at the solution and the service in action. We have a little demo, and we're not going to go through every step, but if you could give us a sense as to, the onboarding and so let's just run this because I think it's very telling how easy it is to get going incrementally, get started. So let's run the demo.
Absolutely. Well, you're 100% right? It's extremely easy. Customer can find Atlas, as you see on AWS Marketplace, with a number of try before you buy options. And that includes, a free trial, which is a new feature on AWS Marketplace, the ability for customer to launch a demo environment right on AWS Marketplace, or if customers prefer, they can request a demo directly from the MongoDB team right from our listing. So when a customer begin a free trial or a paid subscription on AWS Marketplace, they're automatically contacted by the MongoDB team who will provide credentials to the Atlas portal so that they can quickly provision an Atlas environment. And that's available on the self-serve or not options.
Yeah, and as we can see here, it's really straightforward. I mean, you create clusters, you can take care of the networking. I mean, all of this is essentially very easy to set up. So anybody who's already doing work with AWS, they're familiar with the environment, they can literally get started just like that, and the onboarding is made easy. So let's go back to the value proposition here of Atlas, because I think you've mentioned one example, one customer example, very, very compelling, but I think there's more, right? In preparation, we're talking about what you've done in the banking space as well. So could you maybe walk us through some other real life examples of deployments of Atlas that have resulted into significant efficiencies and, more importantly, the ability to AI drive your business, AI power your business when before you were not able to do that?
No, absolutely. And that's super exciting. I think a use case that we see more and more, and really where MongoDB and Atlas is being used, is as part of the cloud modernization and overall modernization of customers, right? And I've got two great examples in the banking world, right? Like Bendigo and Adelaide Bank, two banks in Australia. they modernized 30 of 32 banking applications in just 30 days using jointly AWS and MongoDB modernization tooling and funding that's available. Um, and Novo Nordisk as well used Atlas with Amazon Bedrock to cut a 12-week clinical reporting workflow down to roughly 12 minutes. So that's really the value that you will get of leveraging MongoDB on those modernization use cases and to build new AI applications.
Right. So, and that's, a couple of financial sector examples, but that's just a start. You can do this across multiple industries. Tell us about, who's the ideal customer? If I'm watching this video, am I the right customer for you? What do I look like? What can I start small? What type of skill set do I need? I mean, I think these are all questions that I think are very critical at a juncture in the market where AI is really everywhere and needs to be everywhere for many organizations. So tell us more about your ideal customer use case.
So our ideal customer, we do have customers. The large majority of Fortune 500 company in the US have some footprint of MongoDB or MongoDB Atlas, but also we're very present in the startup, in the DNB. We've got AI natives that pick MongoDB Atlas as their default database to scale and grow their applications. So we don't really have a customer profile, right? That we have the ability to help any kind of customers, whether it's the largest enterprise company or some of the startups and digital natives, companies, because of the ease of use, especially leveraging AWS Marketplace, right? Their customer will be able to spin up an Atlas environment, a MongoDB environment on their own. And if they do need help, right, if they don't have the skill set, which today, MongoDB is extremely used and extremely popular in universities and across the developers community worldwide, but you will get reached by one of our team members. I also want to mention that what is it interesting, right? The database market is truly undergoing its most significant transformation in decades. Database, they're no longer passive system of record, right? They've become the active memory layer for AI native and agentic application. So for MongoDB, this is a massive opportunity. Customers are moving at very fast speed but they're hitting a wall, and you cannot build a cutting edge AI future on a legacy data stack, right? So to win, organization need a shared memory layer that can handle the high velocity and structured data that AI agents require, and MongoDB is that layer for any type of customer profile.
Right, and that's why this partnership makes so much sense, and really leveraging the marketplace from an end user standpoint is such a natural thing to do. I feel like there is definitely so much going on right now. This allows you as an end user to literally get value out of AI without breaking the bank and getting results so you can move on to the next project and keep growing, going and growing your ability to leverage what will become, I think, essentially the way to do business moving forward, everything being agentic driven to a large extent. But that's only possible with a unified data platform underneath. Maybe, before we close, Olivier, I'd love to know more about where this is all going from your perspective. And again, without revealing too many secrets, what's the general direction? What's the roadmap for you?
The partners is really at the core of our strategy. So we do want to develop, partnership, and AWS is one of our largest customer, and we feel that our partners, in essence, help stitch up the stack, right? And by building on MongoDB's unified data platform, partner eliminate the need for glue work. So developer can move from a prototype to a productive grade AI agent in week and not years, right? So I think like the focus and investment on our partners ecosystem and really being more strategic so that we can provide to our customer joint solution and we can come together and not in silos is one of the things that you can expect from us. And obviously our pro roadmap, I can't talk too much about it now, but we'll be very much focused around new AI features.
Perfect. Well, we'll stay tuned. I'm sure there'll be plenty here. And again, Olivier, thank you so much for joining us today on the AWS Marketplace series.
Thank you for having me, Christophe.
And to our viewers, thank you very much for your time. I'm Christophe Bertrand, Principal Analyst at theCUBE. Thank you. See you on the next one.